leadership as relates to conversations and calls and direction via phone, video, whatever it might be. Yeah, see, I was just talking with somebody just now, and I feel like some leaders, they get to a point where they talk just to talk, and it doesn't have any impact at all. So let's take, for example, we have this meeting or this call or this, whatever it might be, video chat, and you just talk. You talk about random stuff. There's no direction. There's no specific team alignment. You're just kind of chatting.
Is it like a networking call or like a coffee chat? Or
It's supposed to be a leadership call, and in essence, if it was roles reversed, and you know this because you've worked with me long enough, you know, I feel like you should have a direction to your call or your conversation or whatever the case may be. For instance, right now, you and I have a conversation and we know what we're going to talk about and we're talking about it. We don't just go off on random tangents and say things over and over again, almost like we beat a dead horse.
I totally get it. I know that one thing that's a pet peeve of mine is when there's a meeting, but there's no agenda.
There you go. That's absolutely correct. If I have no direction or agenda, what purpose does it serve? You're essentially talking and talking and talking and talking and talking about random things, and it's almost like you're trying to come up with stuff in your head, almost like a cowboy type mentality. I'm not built like that. So when I talk to leaders or owners, anybody like that, I make sure, okay, you found the problem. That's great. What are you going to do with that information that you've just found? Are you just going to talk about it and say, well, you need to be doing this, this, and this? Or are you going to say, hey, you need to be doing this because this is going to be the outcome? This is going to be almost like we need to paint a visual for them. You can't just tell them, hey, this is what we need to do. Because when you get on these calls and you say that, you just sound like you're saying things to say, I know what I'm doing or I know what I'm talking about. And it doesn't fare very well for some people. I have a lot of peers that kind of get into that conversation like, I just don't understand. And you never want to go down that road and say, somebody doesn't know what they're doing, or they're lost, or they're shook, or anything along those lines. But man, I was reading an article the other day about team alignment and when you get on these calls, and this is what kind of kicked it off for us, right? It's just one of these things we run across during the week and we say, hey, let's talk about this week. I was reading the article, and the article was about leadership and directional conversation, which is totally cool with me. I like that. I like having an agenda. I like knowing what I'm going to talk about. I like getting on there, getting to the point, and then opening it up. I'm going to open up anything in the beginning because everybody's still getting into their little video comfort zone, right? And just like you and I, we get on these calls and we kind of sit there, chit chat for a hot second, and then we start. So that's my.
It's funny because I have this pet peeve too, especially when I worked in corporate. And I would always have this little meme where it would be like, here's an award because this call could have been an email because there was just no point to it. And I know that when I had one-on-ones or I ran team meetings, I made sure I always had an agenda. And if I was going to make a meeting, like I had to put an agenda in the body of the invite.
Absolutely.
Um, and actually, what's really cool now is when I have one-on-ones with my employees, I don't have to really follow up anymore because I forward an AI like summary and it talks about everything based off our agenda. So based off of my agenda, it'll go through and it'll summarize what we talked about, what we figured out, and then action items for each person, and it just automatically sends it.